look really sad, buddy.
I am. It's just, I love Katanning so much, but there's so much drug and alcohol abuse going on, you know? I just wish there was something I could do about it.
Well, wait a second. There is something you can do about it.
Really?
Yeah, today's Community Awareness Day.
Where do I go to find out more about it?
Well, just stay tuned, because...
Education Today starts now!
Welcome to Education Today. I'm Alex Thompson of Katanning High School in the Armstrong School District. Armstrong County's Week of Community Awareness and Community Awareness Day begins Monday, October 21st, 2013. The goal of community awareness is to ignite a spark in the community, a spark of common purpose to help raise awareness about the abuse of alcohol and other drugs, elder abuse, child abuse, and domestic and sexual violence. The timing of this is wonderful, having Community Awareness Day occur during the national observance of the Red Ribbon Week and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. For those of you who don't know, the Red Ribbon Campaign is a national effort to work towards a drug-free society, and the No More campaign is a national program combating sexual and domestic violence. To talk about Community Awareness Day, we have three outstanding guests joining us here today. Magisterial District Judge J. Gary DeComo, District Attorney Scott Andressi, and Joe Ellen Bowman, Executive Director of Haven. Welcome to Education Today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Judge DeComo, can you tell us the goal of Community Awareness Day and how did it start?
Community Awareness Day started in January 5th, 2004. In fact, I have a little prop here today. This was our original flyer from 2004. And the goal of Armstrong County Community Awareness Day is to raise the level of prevention awareness in the community.
Each of you has a unique perspective about why Community Awareness Day is important. Judge DeComo and District Attorney Andressi, please share some insight into the devastating impact of the abuse of alcohol and other drugs.
Probably the two most important things I see about the abuse of alcohol is that the most heroin addicts that I see in my courtroom charged with serious crimes all started with first tobacco and then alcohol use. And a frightening statistic is that more teens die from an alcohol overdose or alcohol-related car crash than from all other causes combined. So I think that's very important.
From my perspective, what we see in Armstrong County is a direct connection between drug and alcohol use and abuse and the commission of crime. I'm not just talking about the sale of drugs, I'm talking about theft crimes, property crimes, home invasions. What we see more often than not are that the people who commit the crimes are committing them to support their drug habit, whether it's breaking into a home or passing a bad check or shoplifting. At the end of the day, what they're doing is supporting a drug habit, and that's one of the insidious effects of drug abuse.
Ms. Bowman, now let's talk about the dynamics in domestic and sexual violence, elder abuse, and child abuse.
One of the things that we want to talk about here today are those four crimes, and I know these two see these crimes all the time. And from my perspective, what I want Community Awareness Day to focus on is everybody become more educated about domestic sexual violence, child abuse, and elder abuse. Look for the warning signs. Understand what a healthy relationship is, and help people see when they're in an unhealthy relationship and some of the warning signs of violent relationships, especially teens. You know, I want you, if you can, look at our website, at Haven's website, and look at what a healthy relationship is, and start to recognize if it doesn't feel right, you know, if your partner is controlling, or they're violent, or they're, you know, isolating you from family and friends. Look at those as early warning signs of violent relationships. And as these two said, you know, the other crime, a lot of times domestic and sexual violence, there's drug and alcohol use involved in those crimes too. So that's why we want to partner together to do all these things. Child abuse is a whole nother piece. Learn about child abuse, learn about mandated reporting, learn how to look for grooming behaviors, especially for child sexual violence. In domestic and sexual violence and specific family violence, a lot of children are violated against. A lot of children in domestic violence homes experience child abuse. So there's a really strong correlation between them. And elder abuse is something that we all, everybody in Armstrong County needs to focus on protecting vulnerable citizens. And whether it's financial abuse, whether it's physical abuse or sexual abuse or abuse of a caretaker abusing the victim, they're very vulnerable, and we need to know the warning signs. So we have a ton of resources that we want to share. We can't, get you to be experts tonight, but we all have a responsibility to protect the people, our neighbors, our friends, our family, and people we care about.
Let's talk about the Fall Family Celebration at Lenape Tech and other activities that are planned during the course of this week, both in Armstrong District and others. Mr. Andresi, tell us about the program at Lenape Technical School on October 21st.
It's really an amazing program, and we've watched it grow year after year. It's the kind of program that has something for everyone. There are resources available for parents who want to learn more information about some of the topics we've been talking about here today. There are social service agencies who are there available to provide information on their programs. There are fun activities for kids, kids from little kids to high school kids. There's something for everyone to do. And there's some great food. The folks at Lenape Votech just do an incredible job. I can't thank Dawn Coker-Taylor and her staff and the kids at Lenape enough for the time and effort they put into this program. It's well worth it. If you have some time that evening, please come out, see what's available, take advantage of the giveaways that are taking place, take advantage of the information that's available to you, and you'll find if you come to Lenape on the 21st, it is well worth your time.
Judge DeComo, what are some of the activities happening at the elementary school level, both in Armstrong School District and in other school districts?
Well, we plan to have an elementary school pledge printed and signed by elementary school students. We also are going to present, I'm going to present the Drugs Kill Dreams program in numerous schools, 6th grade through 8th grade in the Armstrong County area. So we have quite a few things planned. We hope we get our message out as best we can. And it's been a successful program in the past, and it's going to be more successful this year.
Mrs. Bowman, what are elementary school pledges?
We developed this pledge a few years ago, and I actually have a copy of it here, if you want to show it. And we ask all the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders throughout the county will get this pledge. We ask the teachers, we give them a script to review this pledge. But basically what we're trying to do is, at a young age, and we've been told repeatedly that we need to focus on elementary school students about respecting themselves and other, we talk about bullying, talk about no drugs, talk about no violence, and no using tobacco or alcohol. So, and just say no. And so we try to get kids to help raise their awareness from that age and then hope to build on it from there.
Sounds like a lot of great stuff. How does Community Awareness Day come together each year? Judge DeComo, who helps put it all together?
Well, first we have complete countywide cooperation for our programs. I mean, there's no one that we have ever called for any type of assistance that didn't help us. I don't want to leave anybody out, but we have Ark Manor, Haven, of course, with Joe Ellen. Of course, Scott was a co-founder of Armstrong County Community Awareness Day. The Area Agency on Aging. Of course, the Armstrong School District. Without this program and without this studio, Armstrong County Community Awareness Day wouldn't be possible. But we have complete countywide cooperation, the ACMH Hospital and Foundation. The doctors that are at our hospital are always cooperative, always. In fact, we're going to be getting a taped session with Dr. Grooms from the emergency room this week. We have complete countywide cooperation, and I'm really proud of our county, the type of cooperation we have.
Mr. Andresi, have other counties begun to do similar programs to this?
To be honest with you, Alex, I think at this point in time, and really from the beginning of Community Awareness Days, this is a unique program. I've had other agencies contact my office, as I believe my colleagues have, wanting information about our program, but to this date, I am not aware of any other county in the state of Pennsylvania who does a similar program. And that's something I think we should all be very proud of. This literally started as an idea between a handful of people 9 years ago, I think is where we are now. And it has grown every year since then to the point where we now reach, or have the potential to reach, every resident in Armstrong County, which I think is truly amazing.
And now we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a minute to talk more about Community Awareness Day. Stay tuned.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name's Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
And we're back with Education Today. Tonight's topic is Community Awareness Day, and we are joined by Magisterial District Judge Gary DeComo, District Attorney Scott Andresi, and Joe Ellen Bowman of Haven. Judge DeComo, as I'm aware, and I'm sure many others are, you often track down local and professional athletes to film them as they speak about the message and your yearly slogan, Drugs Kill Dreams. Can you tell us why you are constantly looking for athletes and other stars who share this message? For those at home, who is new this year?
We have new this year, Shamarko Thomas. We have, I hope I pronounced this right, Le'Veon Bell. We have Jarvis Jones, and a few other of the wide receivers that this year on the program.
How long have you been running this slogan, and how did it get started?
Well, I began to do drug and alcohol prevention programs when I first took office 20 years ago. And about 12 or 13 years ago, a young lady in a Manor Township drug prevention poster contest came up with a poster, and across the top it said, "Drugs Kill Dreams." So I adopted or stole the slogan from her, and I've used that slogan ever since, and it's been quite effective with the kids.
Where does this program come from, and how did it all come together?
Well, my first year in office, I couldn't believe the abuse of alcohol and other drugs, and I saw the horrible effects it has on our young people. So I made up my mind that through my office I was going to do something in the area of prevention, and that's what I've done.
Are there any new elements for this year?
Just the new players. We're always looking for new issues to tackle. We have, like I said, the Steelers on it. We have another emergency room scene. We have people in recovery from the jail, inmates in recovery. And sometimes if the students don't listen to the professional athletes, some students will listen to a young person in an orange outfit at the Armstrong County Jail telling them the problems with addiction and how it led to them being in the Armstrong County Jail. I hate to say that, but that's what happens.
What advice do each of you have on how Armstrong County citizens can become involved?
Go ahead, Scott.
I think from my perspective and from a law enforcement perspective, we think it's important for every community member to take ownership of their community. There are only so many police officers that can be placed onto the streets. They do an incredibly good job, but at the end of the day, it's the people living on the streets, in the neighborhoods, in the communities, who are the eyes and ears of the police. So we would strongly encourage people, when they see unusual activity on their street, whether they think it's crime related or not, report that information, because what we do is we gather that information. We then try and establish patterns that indicate to us there may in fact be drug activity. We ask them to become involved in their community. When they see someone who they think has been a victim, whether it's domestic violence or sexual abuse, let them know there are resources available for them. Let them know that there's someone who can help them. And that's what's important about the 21st and indeed throughout Community Awareness Day week programs, is getting information out that there are resources available to you, that you are not alone, that you don't have to be a victim of crime, whether it's domestic violence, sexual abuse, drugs and alcohol. There are resources available for you.
From my perspective, I think that I would really ask everybody, as Scott just said, everybody in the community needs to become involved. And one of the ways to become involved is to understand the dynamics of child abuse, elder abuse, domestic and sexual violence. And there's a slogan that we have that actually came from the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence. It says, you wouldn't hesitate to dial 911 if you saw a fire next door. But what we hesitate to do is get involved when we perceive things to be people's personal business. And there's no room for violence in anybody's relationship. And so a lot of victims tell us that if somebody would have just said, I'm worried about you, I've noticed what's going on and I'm concerned about you, there's people that can help, just to reach out to victims. That's whether you're a physician, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a neighbor, whether you're a grandmother or a parent. Follow your gut. You know when something's not right in a relationship. You know, you see violence, you see symptoms, but we don't always want to act on that. You know, it feels like it doesn't feel like it's our business, but it really is our business. You know, we all need to say and join in with a campaign that's a national campaign that we've adopted here in Pennsylvania, which is no more to domestic or sexual violence. You know, we need to be comfortable talking about it, which a lot of people aren't. But then we need to be able to stand up and say something about it. And you don't have to be an expert. You know, you need to do it safely. You need to, you know, if there's a really violent relationship, sometimes it's not safe to intervene. But there's ways to get to the victim and get them the help that they need. So my goal for Community Awareness Day is to talk about it. If we don't talk about it, what we're telling victims is we either don't notice it or it's okay with us, which it isn't okay with us. So we need to be comfortable talking about it, but we need to have the tools to talk about it. And Scott had mentioned the program at Lenape Tech that's put together through Holy Family in Lenape, which is a phenomenal evening. There's resources there that night. We have all of the information to help citizens in our county to help intervene on behalf of victims. So my goal is to don't ignore it.
I would say that, like all other counties in Pennsylvania, we continue to have a problem with heroin addiction. And most heroin addicts that I see in my office are first addicted to prescription pain relievers. So I want to tell everyone throughout our county to keep all your prescription pain relievers in a separate, secure area in your home. Because it's very important, people with legitimate pain have these pain relievers, prescriptions from their doctors, but there are outside people that are going to burglarize your home, steal your pain relievers, and abuse them or sell them to some of our young people in the area. So keep your prescription pain relievers in a separate, secure area. Thank you.
What are some resources our viewers could consult to learn more?
One of the things that we're doing this year, and it's being sponsored by ACMH and the foundation, is we're going to be developing this particular flyer, and the front's going to look like this, and it has ACMH on it, but it has all the hotlines, the hotline numbers where to call. There's websites where to call. So we're going to have 20,000 of these printed, and we're going to distribute them throughout the county. So you'll have a one-page sheet that says, okay, I see this going on, this is where I can call. I see drug activity. Here is a drug task force number. The Armstrong, Indiana Clarion Drug and Alcohol Commission, you know, somebody has addiction issues, here's the number. Children and Youth is on here, the Area Agency on Aging in Ark Manor. To report underage drinking. You know, that's another hotline that we have here. So we're going to try to give you all the resources, and every one of us have websites, and you can look on these websites and you can tap into information, and there's a wealth of information. And that's one of the great things about technology. You know, you can sit at home or sit on your computer and find this information, and if you can't find it, call us and we'll get it to you.
Any other messages you'd like to share for Community Awareness Day?
I'd just like to tell everybody to join together in a community celebration of prevention. That's what this is all about. Please.
Finally, I understand that next year is another element planned. High school students will be more involved in an effort to engage them to be part of the solution. Can you tell us about that idea?
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, we're excited about this. Actually, I think this was Mr. Garitano's brainstorm. But one of the things, you know, young people, including the people that are working with us here today, don't really want to hear from us talking heads. You want to hear from each other. And so for us, we really think that it's more critical to get students involved, to understand, do some research and understand the dynamics. And then we're going to have a video contest, and we're going to do it throughout the county. And then we're going to judge them, and there'll be winners, and that's the video that will be shown next year. We were going to do it this year, but we realized we need a little bit more time. We're going to come up with some money, and we're pretty resourceful around this table, and we're going to have some really good prizes for the groups. So, you know, get that in your kind of in your plans. If you're going to be here, we're going to do the videos this year. So all the students that are going to watch this show will be actively engaged, and then we'll have that for Community Awareness 2014, which is our 10th year anniversary. So we're excited about that. It's a whole new idea, but we want you. We want to hear from you. And we know you can communicate with each other and get the message across probably better than we can.
I also understand that there will be prizes available to the winners of each category.
Mm-hmm. There will. To be announced, but they're going to be good ones.
To be announced.
Yes, to be announced.
Well, that's our show for today. A special thanks to our guests for being on the show. Gary DeComo, Magisterial District Judge from Ford City, District Attorney Scott Andressi, and Joe Ellen Bowman, Executive Director of Haven, all from the County of Armstrong. I'd also like to thank all the Community Awareness Day partners, unfortunately too many to mention, who worked so hard to make this annual event such a huge success. Thanks also go out to Katanning Senior High, School TV production, students led by their teacher, Mr. Don Swanson. They were our film crew for today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. DVD copies of this and all Education Today programming can be requested by contacting Chris Garitano, Multimedia Technician at Katanning Junior High School. For more information about the district, visit our website and have a great week.